right, here we go. Test is next week. I haven't showed y'all how to do 1 through 6 yet. All right, this is something that's new. You did it last year. It's easy. What? All right, so let's do number 1. Amelia, notice that I've got your 3 steps to find an inverse right here on your page, right? Amelia, what does it say? The first step is?
Replace f of x with y.
So look, guys, all you do on that is just cross that out and put y equals. All right, we're good. All right, Hunter, what does the second step say on the sheet?
Switch x and y.
So guys, if we got to switch them, instead of 3x minus 5, it'll be 3y minus 5 equals x. Write it down. Question, Amelia. Making noises back there.
Well, stop saying my name because I'm on.
We did this on this paper.
Nobody
you
watches
gave us
it.
this weekend.
Yeah,
Last
we did.
weekend.
That is true.
Yeah, but
I had to learn it.
you had to learn it on the video.
Yeah, I was.
No,
No,
great.
I watched it
Not
on
true.
YouTube. I googled it on YouTube and I watched it and I
Okay.
figured out my name.
Because your video wouldn't
I'll
work.
watch
All right,
the video
so
and explain
what
it
does
if
it
you
say
don't
the
know.
third step is?
So for y.
So if I got to solve this for y, what do I move over?
5.
Move 5 over.
Having a good time, Greg.
That'd be x plus 5 instead of minus 5. All right, if I'm solving for y, the last step, I got to divide by 3, right? So watch, it's going to be x plus 5 divided by 3. Write that down and then we'll talk about it.
All right then. Diagonal, we both did it.
You
Yeah.
gotta do the negative 1.
Now, River, if you guys can do this without showing all 4 steps, that's fine. At least show me 1 step. What's the negative 1 mean? You guys who watched it on YouTube last week, what's that mean, negative 1?
-1.
That is your symbol for inverse. So when you get done and you write your answer, write that symbol over your y, okay? Now guys, an inverse is like the opposite of everything. So if we started with a minus 5, we should have a plus 5 in the answer. They started multiplying by 3, now we're dividing by 3. So everything's going to be opposite.
Right, sweet.
That was a lot.
All right, question about number 1.
So, the next
Question, Grant?
So the next one should be h plus.
All right, so number 2.
Over 4 over 5.
All right, first step. Now look, I'm going to go ahead and just skip that first step on all of them because it says replace f of x with y. So I'm going to go ahead, when I write it down, I'm just going to write y equals because that's easy. All right, what's the second step?
Switch x and y.
Got to switch them. So instead of 4/5 x minus 3, it'll be 4/5 y minus 3 equals x. Now y'all solve for y. Do your first step. Let's see what you get. Thank you. All right, Grant, solving for y. Grant, what do I move over first?
3.
Minus 3, move it over to plus 3. Anybody got a question? I used to make them graph the inverses, guys. We're not going to graph them. We're just going to find the inverse as a function. Now, the last step is the fraction. We got to move it. There's lots of different ways you can do it. This is the best way. You guys would normally divide by 4/5, right? But everybody should know you can't really divide fractions. You have to do keep, change, flip. So when you have a fraction to lie, you want to move it. I want you to flip it over. So instead of 4/5, it'd be 5/4 and multiply it on the other side. That is the best way to move a fraction. Just flip it over times.
We don't ever have.
We're not going to distribute River if that's what you're asking. Amelia,
What is it?
you made a remark, a question.
Yes, I said we never have
that the
enough room
answer?
out here. Either I write too big.
You're right, too big.
Okay, my question.
Go ahead.
Do we ever have to use this apart from teaching?
From
No.
college algebra.
This is on.
But then why college algebra if we're only going to use it to teach it?
It's in college algebra. That's all I
I think
know.
I should.
All right, let's go to number 3.
So was that the answer?
Yeah, that's the answer. When I write my y -1 River, that's my inverse, that's your answer. I'm not going to make y'all distribute it, River. We're just going to leave it like that. That's the easiest way.
God,
This seems pretty simple then.
All right, so Amelia's second step, I got to switch x and y, so that'd be instead of x plus 5, it'd be y plus 5. Write that down. Square root of y plus 5 equals x. Now we got to solve for y. Somebody give me the first step. All right, Grant says bring the 5 over, but here's the deal. You can't bring the 5 over if it's under a square root symbol. So we will have to get rid of the square root symbol. River, how do I do that?
You square it.
We're gonna square both sides to do that. So y plus 5 now equals x squared. Because if you square one side, you gotta square the other side. Alright, now what's the last thing I gotta move over?
5.
Plus 5, move it over, is minus 5. And since that's my answer, I need my -1 right there showing that's my inverse.
This seems simple enough.
We'll see what I wake up.
Alright, y'all seen enough of these? You can do one by yourself, maybe?
Well, try 4, Coach, try 4.
Alright, y'all try 4. See how far you can get on 4.
I think I did it.
I think y'all should do it.
Kaylee, what's the first step? Never mind, I've already done the first step. Second step is switch them. So that'd be y squared minus 7. Okay, now Kaylee, I gotta solve for y. What's the first thing I move over? Good. Everybody should have x plus 7. Anybody got a question there? All right, what's the last thing we gotta get rid of? Good. What's the opposite of a square that gets rid of that? Square root. So y equals, I'm not gonna make y'all write the plus or minus on these, but really anytime you have a square root, you should have plus or minus, but we're gonna not mess with the plus or minus on these. I wrote it down, but you don't have to.
This seems so pointless.
All right, that's 4. You guys go to 5, see how far you can get. All right, so I need to change this to y equals. Now I gotta switch them. Instead of x4 plus 2, it'll be y to the 4th plus 2 equals x. All right, River, give me the first thing I gotta move over when solving for y.
You gotta move the positive 2.
Good. So instead of plus 2, it'll be x minus 2. Anybody got a question on that step? That's pretty easy, right? Now look at the last problem. I think it was the last problem. We had a y squared, so I did a square root. Well, now we have a y to the 4th, so I have to do a 4th root to get rid of that. So my answer is the 4th root of x minus 2. So really, guys, we're just moving stuff around. We're not really finding an answer. All right, go to 6. Y'all try 6. You're going to have 6 of these on the test. All right, so I got to switch these, right? I got to put my y there, so that'd be y plus 6 over 4 equals x. All right, who can tell me on this one what's the first number we got to move over when solving for y? Do I move the 6 first or the 4 first? You got to move the 4. You always move the one that's on the other side of the fraction first. So if they're dividing by 4, then we have to times by 4. That cancels out. So I got y plus 6 equals 4x. All right, next step, just move your 6 over. So I got 4x minus 6. All right, there we go. All right, question about the first section. All right, now that was the only thing that's new on this sheet, guys. Everything else is stuff you should already know how to do. All right, about half, not even half of you got this problem right on the quiz. So and I think there's only one of these on the test. Okay, but we can do this. Where do I start? Well, the first one says y equals 3x minus 4. Somebody help me. Where do I start graphing that at? Go to -4, put a point. All right, what's my rise over run? Kara says up 3 over 1. All right, anybody got a question so far? All right, how does this part right here help me? Look at it. How does that help me? What do I do with that? Find the 1 and put an open circle. Now, does everybody see why there's an open circle there and not a closed circle? Okay. 1, open circle right there, so I need to erase the little dot on the inside. Amelia, you good on that? All right, so Amelia, last thing we got to do is either draw the line on the right side of the circle or the left side of the circle. Look at it and tell me which side I go, right or left. Right is correct. And I erased the left. Anybody got a question how I did that? Hunter, you got a question on that? Because I don't think you've seen very many of those. Okay, see how I did that. All right. All right, let's do the next. All right, Hunter, the next one's just y equals -1. There's not even an x in there, so I can't do a rise over run. I just put a flat line at -1. So Hunter's going to look like that. Now I have to decide, do I leave the line on the right or the left? Well, let's look. The inequality says less than 100, it points to the left. So you draw the line on the left and you erase it on the right. So Hunter, these are called piecewise functions. We are only showing a piece of the whole graph. All right, you guys try the blue one now. All right, let's see what you got. Blue one is y equals -x plus 0. So where did the 0 come from? If you don't have a number behind it, put a 0. Because that gives you a place to start right here. All right, Kara, what's my slope? What number's in front of x? Isn't that a -1, right? So I don't go up 1 over 1, it's negative. I go down 1 over 1. So there, there, there. All right, that's what my line looks like. So Delilah, do I draw the line on the left side of the circle or the right side of the circle?
The left side?
Very good. All right, you guys can do this.
No.
Yeah, we can. We can do this. And again, there's only one of these on the test. I looked at it this morning. There's just one.
Weird. How do you do,
Oh, yeah, 8, we'll do 8 next. Any question on 7? Most of the time, these make a design or a letter. I like it better when they make something. All right, let's go to 8. All right, so Cadence asked, how do we do absolute value? Okay, well, look, you guys are supposed to know what kind of shape is absolute value going to make.
V shape.
So that's a V right in the center. So you know that. If you don't know that, you got to memorize that. So y'all might just want to watch me do this. I got my V right in the center, right, Hunter? Now, Hunter, what in the world does that mean? It means start at -3 and stop it at +3. Now, Hunter, do you understand that these are going to be closed circles on these and not open? Let me show you. If they were just like that, they would be open.
Okay, yes, sir.
So -3 to +3. So -3 is here. +3 is there. That's where I stop it. Now I erase what's not in between that. So you had to draw a V from -3 to +3. All right, now you guys try the red one. I don't think this one actually makes anything. Flip it over on the back. All right, Amelia, if you got this right on your quiz, I'm quite certain. It says above number 8 on the back, the parent graph is x squared. What kind of shape does x squared make? Yeah. Y'all have to remember this now. It's a U right in the middle. It's a parabola. Absolute value makes a V. X squares make a U.
I'm glad your name is
All right. Taylor, can you help me on 8? If we start in the back, where's that -3 going to move it?
down,
All right. Keep going, Taylor.
left 4,
Keep going, Taylor. There's one more.
and you flip it.
Good. Again, you guys were real good at this. Down 3, left 4. And I got to flip it, does it say? So I got a normal size flip. Okay. All right, you guys do 9 and 10, and we'll just check them on the board. I don't think y'all need me to walk you through that.
These are my favorite.
So put your hole at +1. Go to +1, follow it up. Put your hole.
That was my fault, that was no.
But you put it on the left over here. You had it over here. Okay, we'll look at it. All right, 9. Let's see what we got on 9. All right, so 9, y'all got up 5, left 1. I gotta flip it. And just so y'all haven't forgot, what's a fraction make it do?
Fraction, it makes it get.
Compress.
No. It's bad.
Yeah.
All right, so up 5, left 1, compress and flip. So it's gotta be really big. There you go. All right, let's check this last one.
It's negative 1.
10 says up to, what about the 3 that's in front?
That just makes it shrink.
Skinny or stretch. Do I have to flip it? Why not? All right, so up to, make it skinny. All right, so again, I think you guys are really good on those sections. You shouldn't need much help on those. Is that rolling? All right, let's go to 11. You guys have actually gotten much better at problems like 11. All right, it says x squared plus 4x minus 5 over x minus 1. Okay, y'all got to factor out the top first. Go. So I got to have a plus 5 and a minus 1. Anybody got a question about that step? All right, which one's cross out? The only one that's left over, guys, is the x plus 5. You got to graph it. Go to 5 and then up 1 over 1. Question about that? That should be easy by now. We've done that a lot. Hunter, I'm not sure if you saw that or not. Did you see us do those? One like this. All right, so Hunter, do you remember how to find where the hole is?
Oh, that's all
All right. The hole comes from what you crossed out, Hunter. We crossed out x minus 1. Move it over. That makes it a positive 1. So Hunter, I got to go to positive 1. Follow it up. That's where my hole goes. And most everybody that's been here, y'all gotten really good at doing those. Yes, Karen. Did you miss that on the quiz? You did? Most people have gotten pretty good at that.
I missed like all
How do you know the rise over run?
All right, look.
Go up and down.
Amelia, on this type problem, it's always going to be 1 right there because you always go up 1 over 1 on this problem.
It's vertical up and down.
Verticals up and down.
We do the next one by ourselves.
All right, the next one I want y'all to try to do by yourself. Most people got really good at these too.
Wait, I don't remember. Are you gonna give me time to do it by myself?
Always do.
All right, everyone in bed.
It's been on. I had it paused.
You can pause it on this one.
Yeah, if I'm walking around letting y'all work, I pause.
They're gonna think-
All right, let's do the VA. Kara did a great job on this part. She said the VA is -4.
How do you remember that?
All right, so if we got x plus 4 equals 0, because you always take the bottom instead of equal to 0. So Hunter, that's -4. I go to -4, put a dotted line with a color. I want these dotted lines drawn with a color.
Well, you didn't give us any colors.
All right, do it with your pencil. I'll give you color. Okay. I think some of them are on your desk.
You're supposed to catch that.
You're not supposed to take one.
Your safety can
You
do
are
better.
too.
Appreciate it.
Your safety can do better on this.
Got some.
All right, now watch this on the horizontal. This one's different. All right, here's the deal. Y'all watching? You watching, Amelia? It's either going to look like this, where you have an X on top and bottom, or it's going to look like this, where you only have an X on the bottom. It's going to be one way or the other. When it's like this, you simply divide the numbers that are in front of the X's. You divide the coefficients. When it's like this, what is it? Anybody remember? 0. So our problem only has an X on the bottom, so it's 0. So it's going to be one way or the other on your test. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you one of each. All right, so, Kara, tell me how to pick my 4 numbers. 2 on the right, 2 on the left. So on the right, we got -3 and -2. On the left, we got -6 and -5. All right, y'all plug it in, get your 4 answers. Let's do this quick.
I have issues with math. I'm gonna need to keep.
All right,
pressing
so
on
when y'all plugged in -3, you should have gotten what?
3. No, -5 is 3.
If you plug in -3, you get -3, right? Okay. If you plug in -2, you get -1.5. Plug in -6, you get +1.5. So hey, I see a pattern. So this one's got to be +3. All right, let's graph them. -3, -3, -2 down 1.5, -6 up 1.5, negative 5 up 3. So I got a curve there and a curve there. All right, y'all do the last one by yourself. All right, let's see what y'all got on these answers. If you plug in 0, you should get 0. If you plug in 1, you should get 1.5. If you plug in negative 2, I got 6. And if you plug in negative 3, I got 4.5. Somebody check that. Grant, check that. Make sure it's like that.
Yes, sir.
0, 0, 1.5. There's a curve. Negative 2 up 6. Negative 3 up 4.5. There's a curve. All right, let's go to break. Got to be a quick break. I've been dragging today with y'all.